guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. I hope you're having an amazing Wednesday here. This is one of those rare days where I'm actually filming it right before I'm posting it. It's gorgeous out, it's warm, but it's beautiful out. I mean, look at this beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, Mike and Frankie, we got back from Arkansas. Let me rewind. We got back from Arkansas on Monday evening. And yesterday was kind of a crazy day. Monday night, I edited the footage from the meetup and posted that on 3 Mississippi. So I was up to like 2 in the morning in my little bat cave, editing away. And then I got up at like 6:30 to watch it back, make sure there was no glitches, and to get it uploaded for y'all. So it was a little bit of a busy start to my day. And then of course, when I came out here to do morning chores, 2 turkeys were wandering around the yard. I have no idea what happened there. And then half of my Cornish out in the pasture were wandering around in the pasture. And so what happened was, the turkeys, I think they just kind of slipped through something intrigued them, and I was late getting out there to feed because I had been working on the video in the morning, so I didn't get out there until like 8 o'clock. Normally I'm out there, like 7. So I think they were antsy. But the Cornish, our buddy had been over here watching the birds, and he had been moving them for us on the pasture. Well, one of the corners was up just a hair, and they, hadn't been fed yet, so they slipped under to get fresh pasture. And so that was what that was. But they all corralled back in once I was able to, get out there and feed them. However, one of the birds got up on the side panel of the chicken coop, or of the chicken tractor, I should say. It's the same spot where I hurt my leg a couple weeks ago, if you remember that nasty bruise with the scrapes on the side. It's still, the bruise part has faded substantially, but it's still tender, and the 2 scrapes have been peeling like crazy and itching. So that's been fun. But anyway, I walk over there, and I thought at first a coyote had gotten into the tractor because this bird was hanging by its leg on this thing, and I thought it was dead. When I walked over to it, I realized, nope, it's very much alive, but very, very injured. It had skewered its leg. It must have tried to crawl up and get back in and hooked itself, like fully through its leg, and then had like dislocated its leg. There was no doctoring it. It was too far gone. That injury, there was no fixing it. And these are meat birds that are going to be processed. So in the spirit of not letting it suffer, I went ahead and culled it and skinned it out, which, for those of you that aren't familiar with skinning out a bird, it's kind of the quick and dirty method when you don't want to get a scalding pot going and doing all that because it was just the one bird. I wasn't going to set up a whole thing to do one bird. That wasn't going to happen. So, I threw it in the cone and did that, and then basically you just, cut the head and then cut the skin back on the back of the neck, and then you just kind of start peeling it off to the wings, and then you cut the wings off and peel it all the way down, and then you eviscerate, cut the legs and do all that. So anyway, it's resting in the refrigerator. I'll probably cook that tomorrow evening. Actually, tomorrow evening, Frankie's got an FFA banquet. I just remembered that. So maybe I'll cook it Friday. Friday actually is a better day to cook it anyway. It'll have more time to rest. I like to let them sit in the fridge when I'm going to do that for a couple of days to let them, let the meat relax. So that'll actually be perfect if I do it on Friday. But anyway, so I got everybody rounded up, got all that done, and got everybody squared away. So that was good. But nothing like chaos your first morning back, right? And then today I took all of the ducklings that were in the brooder and the 2 turkeys that I had gotten from another gal down the road, and moved them out to the babies, to the main, the big coop. In fact, we'll walk over there and check on them. But we are supposed to be getting our gravel delivery today. It was supposed to happen yesterday. Somebody called in sick at the gravel factory, and so it didn't happen. We're supposed to get it today. Mike thought it was going to come at like 7 in the morning. It's currently 11:15. we'll see. We'll see if they come today. Mike's a little nervous that they may not, but Frankie did some final little bits of tractor work out here this morning, and we'll see. I'm hope they come today, because we are expected to get rain a little later this week. So if that were to happen, then we wouldn't be able to then get gravel again until next week, and we're on the same, then we're back to square one. So fingers crossed it comes today. But again, you never know how these things are going to go. I still got to pull the brooder out and clean it. I did not have time for that this morning. We're actually getting ready to go to church. We got to pack some pantry boxes. Then the kids are going to have youth this afternoon at our friend's pool, and then I got to go back to hand out before our live tonight. So don't forget, guys, we have our live tonight at 6 o'clock. So we hope to see you there. But I'm taking you over here to go see the birds, see how they're doing. I haven't checked on them since this morning. And guys, oh man, okay, so before we left, you guys might remember I had that Jersey Giant that was sitting on a clutch, and she had just hatched out one of the chicks, right? Now I did not pull that chick. I was gonna leave it in there, to just let it do its thing. Oh, look, it's a whole party happening in here right now. It's a whole party happening in here. Hi guys, I know it's cooler in the coop, isn't it? I know. Anyway, I've got this girl right here. She's the one that hatched out the first batch of Muscovies, and I just stuck a bunch more eggs under her. So she's been sitting for about 2 weeks now. This Orpington over here has now gone broody, and she has taken everybody's eggs, and she's now sitting on a bunch of random chicken eggs, and has sort of taken over that. Those girls are just, hopefully, I think, just laying right there. And then I don't know if you can see behind that rooster, there's another Muscovy that's sitting on a clutch, and she's been sitting now for probably about a week. So that's 2 clutches right there, okay? Now, that Jersey Giant that was sitting in there that hatched out the one chick must have hatched out, while we were gone, 1 duckling, because she did have a mix of duck eggs and chicken eggs. But she wasn't a very good sitter. Like, she would sit in there religiously, but some of the eggs weren't under her. So like when I would check it when she would get up, half the eggs were cold. She just didn't quite she had the right idea, but execution was a little weak, okay? So anyway, so I come out here on Monday to do my check when we got back, and there's this one little duckling out, hanging out with this girl who's sitting on a clutch, and it was crawling on her back and kind of hanging out with her and doing what it do, right? So she's kind of doing her own thing, and she's, she was just kind of hanging out with it. So these ducklings, these are the ones that I had. These are the same hatch group, my first original hatch group that David got 4 of out of ours. So that's these guys, and then those 2 turkeys right there are the ones that I moved out this morning as well. And then you can see, I'm glad the little duckling finally found the bigger ducklings. I don't know if you guys can see here. I'm going to scoot down. There's that little duckling. Try to get where you can see better without it moving, but it's hanging out. That's the one that I came home to, hanging out with those guys. So they've bonded, which is good, because that one little duckling was kind of just going off by itself, and I was like, it was staying with her at night and in the afternoon, but then it kind of went off on its own, and I was like, that's kind of just, hawk bait, but these turkeys are cracking me up. This is their favorite thing to do, is sit on the water trough and have a coffee clutch. And then I've got another Muscovy. See if I can take a peek in here and show you guys. She's building a nest. And she's already started sitting. She's already started sitting. But she's got, she had a whole bunch of eggs in there. I checked this morning when I was cleaning and doing stuff, and she had pulled out feathers and had started, but she wasn't sitting there this morning. But that was feeding time. But I guess she's sitting. So there's that little duckling hanging out with the bigger ducklings. And that turkey, those turkeys. So that's awesome. Now my bigger turkeys have been beating up these 2 little turkeys a little bit, but it looks like the initial freak out is over. The geese were real interested in all the ducklings and were kind of following them around, yelling at them, but they've seemed like they've settled down. There's Benedict here in the front. That's my newest gosling, my little gander. And he's now adjusted fully. He's with my other Sebastopols, and that's going well. This one duckling can't figure out how to get in where those guys are, but I'll figure it out. But anyway, so these guys, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 clutches of duck eggs going right now. I am about to be inundated with ducklings in roughly 2 to 3 weeks. They didn't all start sitting exactly at the same time, so between the 2 to 3 week mark, I'm going to have, let's see, they're each sitting, I think that clutch back there is the smallest clutch. The rest, she's got like 18 eggs under her. The other gal's got about 14. The other one, I can't remember how many she has under her, but you know, they all do big clutches. So I'm about to have, I don't know, 100 ducklings altogether, which is fine. I'll sell some, I'll grow some out and process, and we'll have meat, and it'll be good. But I'm about to be very, very busy with ducklings for sure. Excited though. I love, you know, you guys know I love hatching out birds. I love it when they do it themselves. That is my one thing. I hate messing with incubators. I have one, it's a good one. But I really hate messing with incubators. It's just not my jam. There's just too many things that can kind of go awry. I rather let nature do its thing, I guess, is what you could say. And then the pups, of course, are doing well over here, and the goats. Everybody was, of course, happy to see me come home. Hi, guys. Hi, Anne. And now this is Anne. She's my skittish one. You see how loving she's being right now and licking my fingers and nibbling? If she's not pregnant, I don't know what. And she definitely looks it. She's definitely, I mean, look at her tummy. She's starting to puff out on the sides, and her udders are starting to hang. She's getting there. She's, you know, she's definitely getting there. So, and Caroline's the same way. But Caroline's always loving. So I'm not super worried about that. Caroline, quit being, the goats discovered this morning there was a new hole in the pen, if you guys remember, that I had fixed. Well, there's a new hole there now, and the goats discovered it this morning. And when I went out here, Dan was just sneaking through, and she's trying to get in there now, that little booger. See, have goats, they said, it'll be fun. Hey, ma'am, she's found a hole. I didn't have time to fix it this morning because life. Watch out, bub. So she's now trying to get her little head through there. Hey, ma'am. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to remedy this after I get off of this one, huh? Yeah, I see you. I see you being, stop. I see you being how you are. I see how you being. No. Stop it. Ugh. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to fix this. Knock it off. Hey, ma'am, stop. We're not doing that game. Go over there. Anywho, good times. Good times. But anyway, God, I just cleaned their water too, and it's already looking, bleh. I literally cleaned it the day before we left. Actually, technically Frankie cleaned it that time, but normally I do it. But I was busy getting everything ready for our trip. But man, it's good to be home. We had a great time, but man, I am definitely happy that we're home. You know, I missed my animals and just my own bed and just being home, you know. I still got kind of some laundry to do and stuff from being gone, and just kind of playing catch up on some of those kinds of house chores, but that's all right. That's life. That's life, you know. So I'll get it all squared away at some point. At some point. But man, yeah, busy week. And then we've got the guy coming out to run the trench lines because if you notice, we have hoses going everywhere out here, right? So that I can water the birds, so that I can water these guys. There's a line out to Beulah and the garden. So we've got a guy coming to trench. I had mentioned that to you guys, that it was actually going to be cheaper to have somebody else come with the trencher and do it in a day than for us to rent the trencher and do it ourselves. It was going to be $100 cheaper. So we figured that was a better deal. So he's gonna come out here and do that sometime after the gravel gets delivered, potentially this week or the beginning of next week. We'll see. So, you know, and then I've got some planting to do because Carol from Rambling Peach had given me some different plants. Now I can never remember the name of plants. I want to say one's a tiger lily, and then after that I don't remember. But there's some bulbs in there. So I need to get those planted in the ground where I want them. I did pull everything out and I put them all over here. I did pick up a couple of new wandering Jews because I love wandering Jews, and I just think they're, I don't know why, I think they're probably one of my favorite plants outside of, like, I love magnolia trees, but I just think they're so pretty. I just love them. They're so, like, unique looking to me. Anyway, so I've got all these over here, and like I said, I can't remember what it is, but I watered them real good, and I stuck them over here with the rest of the plants so they would have friends. That was my thinking, until I can get them, like these I got to repot in these hanging pots. So I'll repot these wanderers and get these bulbs in the ground. I might have time Friday, but I feel like it's probably going to happen Saturday because the rest of this week is just scheduled beyond reality. Oh, and he left the GoPro sitting in the sun. That's probably not good. I'm just going to move it back here. He was filming. We're getting ready to film when the gravel comes. But anyway, so I'm gonna try, I'm still kind of figuring it out, but I may plant some of those bulbs in through here on this side and kind of do that. I need to trim this back a bit. This kind of went crazy and I don't know what it is. My gardenias are coming back over in front of the window, which is good, but this is all, like that side, the hostas are just blowing up. This side, the hostas are doing well, but there's just not as many of them on this side, and I got to cut some of that ivy back. I like it, but I like to keep it under control because if I blink, and obviously I've been gone for a few days, it's taken over, so I need to get in there and cut it back. I might do that Saturday morning and maybe get some of those bulbs planted in there. I don't suspect they'll really do anything this season. They might. I don't really know. But I'll get them planted. Maybe next spring they'll surprise me and I'll go, oh yeah, I forgot I planted bulbs. And I refilled the hummingbird feeders, of course, and they've been zipping around. And now that my hostas are blooming, they love those hosta blooms that come up. So they're doing great, but they're just zipping around like crazy. So yeah, it's been, you know, it's just been go, 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 man, since we got back. And every night I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have anything else going on. I can just, you know, work on this and then go to sleep. Nope, every night there's been something and every night there will be something. So it is what it is. But Friday evening, we do have a meeting Friday night, but it's kind of early. And then after that, I think I can maybe get a little bit of respite before I come back out here and hit it hard. I got some weed whacking to do. I'm gonna probably get a few things done in the morning on Saturday, and then we do have another meeting at church on Sunday nights or Saturday night. So you know, I'll have some time Saturday to get some stuff done. So that'll be good. But anyway, guys, that's the status of things right now. That's where we're at. And we're just basically really waiting on the gravel guy is kind of where we're at. Waiting on a gravel delivery for all the next steps of spreading it and grading it and getting the trenching done and all that. So, you know, holding pattern it is. But anyway, guys, I hope you are having a incredible halfway point in your week. Don't forget tonight to join us for our live at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is family night, so we got, you know, Mama V before us and Simple Life Reclaimed after us and MT Homestead and all the goodies. So we hope to see you. But anyway, until then, I hope you stay blessed and remember, safety's off.